give you just the one thing with the ginger. I've been with ginger, and how I usually tell you, even though I'm not as educated Muslim as she was, used to be before, do not boil your food. You simmer it. When you bring the water up to heat, and you steep it. Yeah, so for example, it's optional because maybe you may you bring the water up to boil. The water is boiled. You get my man is ginger. After advertising, Jamaican ginger. Not the Chinese ones. The Chinese ones are big. It's a small one. That's soaked overnight. You scrape the skin off from that one out there. Put a little bit of water in your blender. Blend it up so you mash it as much as possible. So I had myself on that carried around drink with me. I got June plum and some plum and what have you. My tobacco. I'll go downstairs and support the young lady and find out a drink. But anyway, so you bring the bottle up to water. Then the inside there, and based on how much you feel, I can't say use 1 pound of that to 2 pints of water. You go with the flow, and so I say, okay, look, you go to a man who knows, you say, look, I'm looking to make up 2 or 3 liters of drink. How much do I need? He would tell me, oh yeah, just 2 pounds, 3 pounds for enough of me, and that's actually you take, then, so you bring the water to the boil, take off the heat, put it inside, let it soak overnight. Next day, if you want to taste, if you want optional, like I said, I know it's a vegan, people say you can shit in this and that. You can either use agave or this and the other, but I've got African honey, pastel rice honey. I've got big spoonful inside that. Leave it for another day. Stir that. If it's your own, just leave the bits inside there. But obviously, if your other half is not stomach with the bits and that, you get either good tea filter, this and that, the other one filter out all the bits. So basically the bits and this is roughage, which is good for your body, and that usually seeps down below. Yeah. But if you're making 3 liters, I normally tend to do. So another teacher taught me about a thing called allspice, and the other allspice, pimento. Yes. That's a natural preservative. So you can make 3 liters of that, just put a little bit of allspice inside, and that will make it last for months of it without going off. So when I and I look at the chest, you check on your drink already. You have to be waiting around.
No.
See the list is on the ending. Every time I go inside there, I've known you for a couple of years, every time I go inside there, so it's still ongoing. I'm a primary school student, I know nothing, because I've been on the journey for a long time.
Here's my go switch.
Huh?
My door bring the table, here's over there.
You could bring it right in front here, you know.
Yes, we give thanks for life and a mighty life giver and give thanks for all good things on us and from Zion above. We give thanks for this divine moment as we getting ready to actually begin. It's that man.
Blessed Lord, give thanks to life, health and strength, and the mighty life giver. We do give thanks our blessed Trinity and power. Give thanks to our divine angels with us at this time. Give thanks to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the great forerunner, John the Baptist, Africa for the Africans. We do give thanks to the defender of the faith, Emperor Selassie, and we do give thanks to our spiritual leader, the most righteous King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. As we say, live the life you love the life you live, because living is love and love is life. Give thanks to life. Welcome, Lewisham, to this great occasion at this present moment of time, where you're in tune and you'll be inclined and you'll be having a wonderful moment this evening, as definitely you're in the lion's den. And we do give thanks as we see everything is ready for this grand occasion. We see the lion pot is bubbling also, because what's in the lion pot, that's for you to find out, because you gotta have to sit down to find out what's going on at this present moment. We give thanks to this 3 days lecture right here in London. We do give thanks to the first one in Brixton. We give thanks to the second in Hackney. And tonight we're going to seal it up with a glorious occasion, because we're still on the pathway as we're embarking on the journey. Alkaline, what is it? Is it a fad or is it reality? So we do give thanks. Welcome one and all. You can have your seat at this moment. We give thanks to all angels, that are coming in, because definitely there are angels moving around, and we want you to bring good tidings home, and let your family and friends know what you've learned tonight, because definitely this is a great occasion where you're going to find out, even the herbs that are grown here in London, herbs that you read about, herbs that you heard about. Definitely we have our herbalist with us this evening, and he's going to introduce all the herbs that are here in London. Definitely we have the Grandmaster, within science and within technology, within herbology. We have the great physician here with us, the Right Honorable Priest K. Leons. At the moment of time, we do give thanks to the assistants, we give thanks to the entourage that are with us, and we give thanks to those who are embarking upon the journey with us at this moment, because definitely you're going to taste what's in the lion pot this evening, and each and every one, I'm hoping you will enjoy the blessed moment. So for your presence here and for life, we ask you to render a heartical cheer to yourself for being here at this present moment of time. And life, as we say, is the existence that is given unto man, woman, and children for them to live to their own satisfaction and pleasure, providing you forgot not that God who creates you and expects that spiritual obedience from you for the moral laws which is inspired. And definitely, we heard about all these things. We heard about vegan, we heard about alkaline, and where is it stemming from? Because we know God the Creator is what you call the ital man. But definitely because he gave you the seeds and nuts and the herbs for you to feed upon. But, why is it that so many people are filling their body, the temple of the living God, with carcasses in this time? So what should you eat? Because definitely food is your medicine, and your medicine is your food. So without any further ado, I will give thanks to all loved ones that are here with us this evening. I will turn over you to the herbalist, the man himself, Honorable Prophet Nkoyo, to take you and embark you upon the journey of showing you the beautiful herbs, their meanings, and what their natural properties are. Give thanks and render article cheer to the Honorable Prophet.
Good morning, all. It's a pleasure to see you all today. It's a pleasure to have you all to come and enlighten yourselves with basic knowledge of what's around you. And I have here with me now some herbs from England, from London, that I've collected from the Greenway, from East Ham to Stratford, right before your eyes. Well, I'm going to see if this will stretch over here, but see what best I can do. Thanks for your patience. Well, first of all, it's such a blessed time to be here today. So for this special occasion, we're going to start off with the herb you've known called blessed thistle or milk thistle. Have you anyone heard of it before? Milk thistle?
Yes.
Does anyone know what milk thistle does? What it's used for? Does anyone know what it's used for?
Cleansing. Cleansing.
Okay. Sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. You know, strength to strength. I'm not only a teacher, you're all a teacher as well. I'm a student as well too. Well, this is milk thistle. Well, if you notice, it has a lot of thorns on it. Very heavily protected because of its royalty, its royal structure, royal stature. It's a very good herb, very rich in iron, rich in vitamin C as well, zinc. It's also very good for the liver, cleansing the liver, detoxifying the liver, detoxifying the blood. So which means it's good for the skin, any skin problems, eczema, any rashes, so on. I'm going to pass it around so you guys can have a look. We'll start in this direction. Well, that was picked in London. So you don't have to go to the health stores to get it, it's right here. Yes, it definitely is. Well, the next herb I'm going to start with is rose hips. Does anyone know rose hips? You seen it before? Does anyone know what it's used for?
It's got vitamin C here.
Yeah. It's very rich in vitamin C. So which means it's very good for boosting the immune system. And it's also a very good herb for any female problems. And they got this from London as well. And I think some people have it in their gardens. Because another thing too, are you guys familiar with crab apple? Like if you see the rose hip, it looks like a crab apple. So which means that it can be eaten as well, it's edible. So it has like a watery taste. It's not that sweet, but it's not bad, it's tolerable. So I'm gonna pass it around so you guys can have a look. Just be careful because it has some thorns on it. Okay, the next herb I'm going to start with you guys that are on this alkaline journey. You've heard Dr. Sebi spoken about elderberry. You've heard of elderberry before?
Yes, ma. Yes.
Yes.
It's a drink. We drink it.
What's it good for?
Well, I drink it because it's healthy. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's an immune builder.
yeah, it is. It's very rich in iron. It's very good to pools. It can also be used in many different ways. Because the flowers, you can make a tea and wash your eyes with them, and it clears up any inflammation in your eyes, any blockages. So this is readily available all through England. So I'm going to pass it around so you guys can have a look. Okay. The next herb I'm going to display is one called cleavers. I guess you guys have it in your backyards, but you're not aware of it. It's an excellent herb for cleaning the lymphatic system. Also, it's very good for cleaning anything to do with any urinary and kidney obstructions.
What was that one?
It's called cleavers. CELEAVERS. Okay, next herb, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna display, this is called yarrow. Have you guys heard of yarrow before?
Yarrow.
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 Well,
That grows along the roadside too.
well, yes, I guess. You can also combine this with the same elderberry flowers, as a tea to wash your eyes. Good for like conjunctivitis.
Parasites.
Excellent for parasites as well, worms, and it also heats up your body if you have a fever, to make you sweat, induce sweating. I'm gonna pass it around. That was also picked from on the Greenway from East Ham to Stratford. Yes. Okay, the next. Yeah, we also have the herbal manual which has all of these herbs, majority of these herbs in it. So you can purchase one on the way out today. This herb now that I have before you is called arnica. Have you guys heard of arnica before? What's it used for? Oh, yes, correct. Well, it's pain relief, anti-inflammatory. It's very good for fresh bruises and swellings. If you just got a lump on your foot, you can use it right away.
How do you spell it?
It's called arnica, ARNICA. It's mainly used in a lot of sports relief, rubs, pain relief, and so on. So I'm going to pass this around, and you guys can have a look. I got that from around Stratford. Okay, the next herb I'm going to display is called plantain, Englishman plantain, or Plantago major. It's very good for swellings. It's very good for what we call piles, hemorrhoids. It's called plantain. Plantain, Plantain, English plantain. This is a very good herb. So I'm going to pass it around and let you guys have a look.
And it's good for swelling and what?
It's good for swelling. It's good for hemorrhoids. Piles we call hemorrhoids. Good for back pains. People that have sweaty feet. Yeah, this can assist as well. You can put it in your socks, and it can help with the sweaty feet. I'm gonna pass it around. Let you guys have a look. Okay. Okay, this herb now I have before me is called chickweed. Does anyone know chickweed? Yeah.
Chickweed. CHIC.
Chick like a chicken? Chick. Well, it's a very good herb for colds and flu. It also used to induce sweating if you have a fever. This grows all over England, all in the gutters, sides of the roads, sides of the houses, sides of the yard wall, all along the fences. It's all over. It's a very succulent herb, so it's very soft. It can also be utilized as a salad, in a salad as well. It's very rich in nutrients and minerals. Okay, the next herb I have here is called Thuja. Thuja. It is a very good herb for worms, prostate. Yeah, it's in the pine family. And It's all some places are used to remove vaccinations.
What's the name of this one?
Tuja, Thuja. Have a look.
T-H,
Thuja.
T-H-U-J,
A.
Tuja.
Okay. Well, this one we have here is like mallow. Mallow, from the mallow family. It's very slimy. It's very good for things like they call ulcers. Also good to lubricate the the chest, to put that for the respiratory system. So it actually brushes away that mucus. So this is a mallow. So it's very good. It's very good for, I can tell you, ulcers. It's good to wipe the linens of the stomach. Okay, the next one I have here is it's like burdock root. You know this grows in England as well. Well, it's not only available in the house though. So it's right here. So you guys know what burdock does? You know what it's used for?
I think it's full of iron as well, which I use with dandelion together.
Yeah, it's good for it's
And
rich
it's
in.
for asthma.
Pardon?
People with asthma.
Oh yeah. It's very good for people that are anemic. It's very good to purify the blood, to detoxify the liver, and it's also an aphrodisiac for the men. See, it looks like an erected penis. You guys can have a look. Okay. Okay, this herb I have here is called fat hen. It's called fat hen.
PAT.
Yeah, a fat hen. You know a hen, chickens, hen and cock. Yeah, fat hen. It's actually in the same family as the amaranth. We call it callaloo. It's very nutritious. It's edible as well. You can cut it up as green. Okay, I'm gonna pass it around so you guys can have a look. Okay. This one is called dandelion. It's also in the thistle family. It's very rich in vitamins, very rich in iron. Pardon me? Yes, it's very high in potassium in it. It's also excellent for purifying blood, detoxifying the liver, and it's also great for any skin problems, rashes, so on. So I'm going to pass this around. Let's have a look.
Could you repeat the name again?
Dandelion.
Dandelion. Dandelion.
Yeah, dandelion.
That's it for me with your identification of the herbs in the UK. Shortly I'll pass you on to the priest. Thanks for your kind consideration and attention.
Give thanks. Yes, we do give thanks for life and the mighty life giver, and we give thanks. What the brother did, the reason why we actually started off with the herbs that are grown here, a herb shop, and England is such a place, very special when it comes to herbs. I believe that you have to probably leave England to go and get some herbs some other place, and you might believe that you have to get the herb from a herbal shop. But driving along the roads, because I always search for herbs, my eyes are always scanning, and herbs that are very difficult to even grow from the seed. These herbs grow wild on the pavement, on the curb here in England, right? And I'm talking about even herbs like field sites. You know that?
Yes, man. Rosemary head of the water.
Yeah. Fennel grows literally wide. So, most times when you tell someone about living well, people always complain about what? Money. The cost. And many people say, well, okay, they're going alkaline. And then they leave off a list of 20 herbs. Yet still, they cannot identify even one of these herbs. Not one of them. I mean, our work here has been from 2007, and if I were to call someone who uses burdock all the time and tell them, come on the table and identify the herb burdock on the table, they will not be able to identify it. I have brought herbs in herbal stores here. I remember there was a herbal store in Brixton on Atlantic Road. And we bought some vervine. And that vervine was not vervine. And we bought some periwinkle. And that periwinkle was not periwinkle. Right? But you would not know, I only knew because I am accustomed, I know the herbs. So if someone sells me a herb, I could know, well, that herb there is not really the herb. So the majority of the herbs that you need to actually to survive, even here in England, in London, you don't need to go to any herbal shop to actually get it. If you pay enough attention to just your appropriate surroundings, and you love yourself enough just to study, right? Get a herbal book, study, or even go online and search indigenous herbs of England. I'm sure many people buy chamomile tea bags, no? Because they're depressed, or probably they have a bit of stress, they want to calm down themselves, they have some insomnia, so they buy chamomile. Chamomile literally grows like on the roadside. You don't see that chamomile? On the roadside. But yet still, we would complain that it's expensive to live healthy, or it's expensive to go plant-based, or the herbs are so expensive. The problem is that people are lacking that whole sense of love, that sense of self-love. So we took the time out just to go through these herbs. So at least you would stop being like what you call a hypocrite to your own self, meaning that you are living off a principle, and yet still you don't even fully understand the principle that you yourself live by. Right? So we do have some other herbs that I brought up from St. Lewisham. And these herbs, the great majority of them, right, I harvested them from probably that was Sunday, today's Sunday, 8 days ago, and they're still green. So if they are harvested and they are cured properly, they will remain that same color. They remain greenish. Anyone know this little hen? That's a guinea hen. Okay, what they call the fey bouffon. What they call the anamu. Alright? So this is a herb that's excellent for as an antibiotic. Helps to clean space. Very effective in just cleaning out space. But what I'm going to go straight into, some simple preparations. Because a lot of people, pass me the CMOS, Prophet. Plenty of people literally follow, if there's on the table. What's on the table? Give thanks. Many people, they follow all type of diets, but yet still they don't take the time to research. And if you go to the supermarket and you buy CMOS, your CMOS would look very different from the CMOS that I'm going to show you right now. Right? Now, this CMOS would look purple. Alright? So the majority of the CMOS that you might get will not look purple. The great majority. It's not all the CMOS that's not purple and no good. But the majority of the CMOS that are not purple and no good. Because to maintain that purple color, that CMOS have to be cured or dried in a particular manner. All the mineral integrity, contains the majority of the enzymes, and also give you that excess that tells you, yes, you have CMOS. So that amount of CMOS alone is about the quantity that I used, right, even to soak to get this bowl of CMOS that I'm going to utilize to make some CMOS smoothie. So, but that amount of CMOS supposed to soak and give you enough slime to fill up a container about this size. That little bit of CMOS. All right, now there is a science in preparing the CMOS, and the science is basically how it is that you touch the CMOS. It's very important that before you use the CMOS, you wash the CMOS. Remember when you check well, the more you pass your hands in the CMOS, the more slimy the CMOS becomes. So even before you soak your CMOS, it's very important to thoroughly rinse the CMOS. So as you rinse the CMOS, right, the CMOS becomes more and more alive and it begins to produce more and more slime. So then when you begin to soak the CMOS, and even while you soak it, because normally you rinse it in some, before I soak this, I actually rinse it in some rough cut lemon. That's lemon I bought in from St. Lucia from the mountain. Right, when you cut them, they have seeds. Okay, that's a rough cut lemon. And that is basically to just take off the fishy smell, but also to just remove any toxic substances that is on the CMOS. So that Irish moss, if you smell it, it literally would smell of the ocean. So you could pass it around and you could hold a little piece of it, so at least you could see the difference from the conventional CMOS. So that's the purple CMOS. Then you have the green CMOS. The green CMOS, when it's dried, it actually gets bleached out and turns white. Alright? So then you'll see some CMOS that's white and some CMOS that are purple. But you hardly see the purple CMOS, but because the purple CMOS, you cannot cultivate it. Many of the white CMOS you see are CMOS that are cultivated on CMOS farms. Are you aware of that? That people plant CMOS in the sea? Yeah, they plant CMOS. You have CMOS farms. Right? So the purple CMOS, you have to dive for it. So it's like a herb you farm, and then you have a herb that grows in the wild. So the purple sea moss would be like the wild crafted sea moss. And the white sea moss would be the sea moss that people would normally cultivate, or sea moss that grows close to the shoreline. Alright? So tonight I'm going to show you.
Sorry. Do they have a black? There is a black sea moss.
I don't have a black one. Well, the purple could be super black, it could look black. Right? But black seaweeds. There are seaweeds that are black. Like black. Alright, so what we're going to do tonight, very simple. I'm going to prepare we're going to do a sea moss smoothie. Alright? And I have already, the sea moss you see there, it has salt on it. If you pass your hands on it, you're going to see salt. See salt on it? That's salt on it. You know, it has salt still. Came from the ocean. Alright? So you have that sea moss here. It's the same sea moss, but this one is just soaked in hot water. I did not boil this. You don't boil the Irish moss or the sea moss. You don't have to boil it. Right? If you wash it enough and you scrub it enough, it gets soft and malleable and it becomes very, very slimy. So you don't wash this. You don't boil this. We wash it off well and we soak it in some hot water. And what I do, because I know I'm going to use it in the smoothie and also in the cocoa tea, I actually have added some bay leaf. In the Caribbean, you don't do sea moss without, if you're doing sea moss for potency as a man, you don't prepare sea moss without bay leaf and medina. So sea moss and medina goes hands in hands. That's for potency, right? Or even the Guinea hen weed, right? So it's not just, okay, you Irish moss, you just use Irish moss. So the Irish moss goes hands in hands with the medina, the bay leaf, the star anise, right? All these are herbs that actually up the heat of your physical structure. Now when you hear of heat, all it means is that, let them see, all it means is that it increases or improves your circulatory system. Alright? So the Caribbean bay leaf is a different herb than the bay leaf that you might get from your supermarkets here. Completely different. Now the Caribbean bay leaf might not be on your 20 or 40 something herb list of your alkaline herbs. Because remember, you have a list. Some people live off a list of 20 herbs. And they say, well, that's the alkaline herbs. Right? I don't live off that list. Alright, I show you. You know, in my book alone, I'm sure we have over probably 60 herbs. Right? In the mountain only, like in Kilash Mountain, you have over 500 and something wild herbs, every tree, every plant you see. Right? If you go on a little walk on the mountain, I will just choose which herb to talk about. And that's not herbs I came up to the mountain to plant. Right? So when you go alkaline, and then you don't understand that the list, the 20 herb list that you have, if you choose to live by only 20 herbs, and people have made the whole alkaline live with your lifestyle of fad. Number one, they don't know any single one of the herbs. They don't know them, they can't identify them. And also, they have limited themselves from having an open and a broad mind to receive knowledge. So you mean that in the whole world, with the trillions of different plant species, there are only 20 something herbs that are good for you? Limitation. Right? So there is always a message for you, for your season, for your space. But you now living in England, London, you could go anywhere. I passed and I picked up our camera sister. I went by her hotel. that's going up to Walthamstow. The hotel is someplace on the inside there, and I really know. But I pull up over by the road and I'm seeing blackberries growing wild. I mean, blackberries, how expensive a little packet of blackberries, right? And it grows wild. And it's not people that say, well, Chris, what do you do? These things, they grow by the roadside. But that's not growing by the roadside. Yes, by the roadside you can see blackberry plants growing. But if you walk into the shrubs and the bushes, you see just blackberry fields. Right? So then, if blackberry is not on the list, so you want to use it. So someone created a hybrid that's able to grow hair for all these thousands of years that the herb have been growing hair. Why is it that you would say, well, you want to use the red raspberry that has been growing here for years, and the fennel, and the chamomile, and the dandelion, right? And it's not only burdock and indica and yellow dock and all. You have plenty of herbs. Even the comfrey, right? So the comfrey is a herb that's very controversial. Okay? So you have even our ancestor, our honorable brother Dr. Sebi say, well, we wouldn't use the comfrey, you know, but I wouldn't, some things I don't use. And it's just because of my own inclinations. And this herb there is the comfrey. That comfrey was harvested here in England. Now, if you have an abscess, and comfrey has not been growing here for thousands of years. Nobody came and planted comfrey in the wild. If you have an abscess, see this leaf, you see how malleable it is? That's because it's excellent for poultices. Let's say what you call a carbuncle. You have a bump under the arm that's growing. You could just warm this over some steam, add some castor oil, and some sea salt, and a little bit of cayenne pepper, and you rest it right over the bump. It draws out all the pus and all the abscess from inside of the carbuncle. Right? Also, the root of the comfrey, is one of the number one. If you are dying because you have diarrhea and you have diarrhea and vomiting, the best combination, something that will stop your diarrhea and your vomiting in a matter of minutes, would be the guava leaf. Now, guava is a plant that grows in the wild. I don't know if they call guava a hybrid. Do they call guava a hybrid? Now, guava, anywhere you go in bushes, you see guava. If you eat guava and defecate in the bush, the guava plant grows. Right? You cut it, it grows back from the roots. All right, now, the buds of the guava, the apical buds of the guava, the tops of it, 3 of the tops of it, and 3 pieces of the roots of the comfrey would stop any diarrhea. Right, so I'm not telling you now to use comfrey every single day, because you must understand why you are using the herb for. It's not something you're going to use comfrey every single day. Because comfrey used every single day, especially the leaf, right, could affect your liver. So it's not something that you just use every day. But it's not something that you throw away in the rubbish bin and then pretend like it has no value. It do contain value. Right, so tonight, I'm going to ask Prophet Newton to come and just break up the coconut. I mean, that's a coconut, you know that, right? That's a coconut. Right now, they sell coconut milk in boxes and coconut milk in chopped up coconut. When we came here first in 2007, no one wanted to use coconut. Remember? Everybody was afraid of coconut. Oh, it has cholesterol. Right nowadays, everyone sells coconut oil. So the coconut now, the coconut plant, break it up. The coconut is a nut. It's a nut. Like you have walnut, like you have pecan nut, like you have groundnut, like you have almond nut. The coconut is a nut. First and foremost. So you don't only just have to drink the coconut milk. You can break the coconut and eat the nut like you eat any other nut. The walnut, the pecan nut, the groundnut, any nut whatsoever. The coconut is basically a semi-digested food. Why? Because it's a seed and it's going to be utilized to grow a plant. It has what you call endosperm. So it's rich in vitamin C. Alright? And contains lots of medium chain fatty acids. Meaning that it would not rise up your bad cholesterol. In fact, it would stimulate your thyroid gland to help to bring down what you call your LDL concentration, which is basically your bad cholesterol. So the nut itself give me 2 more. The nut itself is utilized. You could eat it. You never know that, right? Of course. When was the last time you eat some coconut? Yesterday. If that. Alright, so it also keeps your mind vibrant. That's why, if you eat too much coconut, your head begins to get light. You feel like you're high. You know that, right? Yeah, you don't need to see. So you've not eaten enough. You must eat enough to know when you eat coconut, your head literally starts, If you check in the Caribbean, if you have fowls coming around the yard and scrape the yard, you would cut coconut and give it to them with a bit of salt. A little salt. And the fowls would become drunken. Right? So that is why today they say, well, the coconut is good for what disease? Alzheimer's and dementia. Okay? Because your brain is basically made up of cholesterol, fats. Your brain is fatty tissue. Alright? So the coconut, right, is basically one of the nuts that's extremely good for your brain. It's a brain food. It's like the shell of the coconut is like a skull. Right? When the coconut is young, the jelly is how your brain is. The only reason you see the brain so solid is because it's been placed in formaldehyde or alcohol to preserve it. But the brain is like smushy and like a jello. So if someone is in an accident and they have a trauma to the head, the brain could just leak out literally because it's squashy, it's fluid. All right, it only gets thick and solid after it has been actually placed in what you call formaldehyde. So coconut is a staple food that the Rastafari community have utilized for almost a century. So then, many of the things that people actually consider to be bad for you, instead of just accepting that it's bad for you, you look at the scientific evidence. If coconut was bad, was rich in cholesterol, rich in fats, that means that every single Rastaman you see would have a big belly. On the contrary, the Rasta people always have flat belly, always look fit and strong, and the skin always shiny. Because they use coconut oil on the skin and in the head, and they eat it, they cook with it, and do everything with it. Right? So, the nut, what we're going to do, because you are in England, the temperature is a bit cold. So the oils in the coconut, it will be very difficult to extract the oil from the coconut if you blend the coconut in room temperature water. So it is essential that you warm up the water before you blend your coconut. So what it does, it dissolves. It melts out the good fats, the good stuff. So this is coconut oil. It naturally solidifies at that type of temperature. If you were in St. Lucia and it was like a 27 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius, this would have been like a liquid. So the temperature, your internal temperature, if I take this, if you cut your skin and you bleed, the blood is going to be warm. So if this oil is in, people say, boy, you don't use coconut because you see how it's frozen? If you use it, it's going to be frozen inside of you also. No. Your inside is extremely hot. You ever check to see, you ever see how hot your urine is? Let's say you were urinating and then your urine touched a part of you. It's hot. The blood is warm. That's why they call you warm-blooded people. Because your inside temperature is hotter than your outside temperature. So that oil, if you just rub it on your skin, right, it's going to melt out. And you free? Rest of your side skin. So what we're going to do, we're going to blend this up. Put them up. So we're going to add some, I already warmed up some water. And in that water, I added some bay leaf and some star anise. Do you know what star anise is? You know this? You sure? That's not. I didn't say nutmeg, I said star anise. Right? You know that? The real stuff? Okay, so pass it down, just smell it. Smell it. Pass it down, just smell it. Just smell it.
Is that from St. Lucia?
Yes, from St. Lucia. Smell it. Just hold it. Right? So we're smelling it. And you could smell the richness. Alright? Smell the richness? It's rich. So star anise is what you call a carminative. So it calms down the digestive system. Right? And this grows in big trees in the forest. Alright? So when I actually bought my property in the mountain, up in the mountain, there were not like trees there growing wild. Right? So I have to plant them, they're growing wild. Nutmeg is a herb that's not on the alkaline list. But growing up, whenever any elder had a stroke, or they felt like they were going to get a stroke, you know what they did? They took the nutmeg seed, they bore holes in it, and they stick it under the tongue, and they leave it there. That literally prevents the onset of a stroke. Alright, so our people did not only just use the herb in that sense just because of the phytochemical content, but they also use it in that sense because of its spiritual value or its occult property. So it's not like you are eating the nutmeg, just put it underneath your tongue. You're not going to swallow it. Just under your tongue. And then it's ward off the stroke.
I recall, like if you were running long distance or something like that, it's always good to have just a little piece for some reason in the mouth.
Because it fills the blood. It fills the blood. So the bay leaf also is a blood thinner. If you have a blood spot, literally you just pound the bay leaf and place it over the area. Even blood spot eyes. Right? You could literally do a bay leaf tea and use it on an eye wash. and just pass your eyes in it. It takes off blood spots. Because bay leaf is an excellent blood thinner. It actually increases your heat energy. That's why it's an aphrodisiac. So is nutmeg. So are any of these. So what we're going to do, we're going to use that water just to blend the coconut. Yes. Alright? Yeah, good, yeah. Alright, so that water is warm. And explain again, the reason the water acids in the coconut to get it out, you definitely need to kick the water out. It's going to be necessary. I won't be speaking while you're under the Go ahead, my lord. So what we're going to do now, we just use a blender and you just blend out your own milk. Now if you want to make coconut oil, right, you follow the same procedure. The hotter the water, the more oil you extract from it. So you could just boil the water, blend like 3 coconuts, and you boil it on low heat for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then it's going to form oil. And you have natural, fresh coconut oil. Or, if you want to do virgin oil, you blend it, you squeeze out the milk, and you just put the pot right over your central heater, your heaters in the home, central heating, you have this big long things here. Yeah. So you just rest the pot right over it, and it extracts the oil naturally. Alright? And if you leave it overnight, the oil is going to freeze and settle at the top, and the water is going to be at the bottom. So that same oil, you can just put it over your heater and it just extracts a little bit of water, and you have virgin coconut oil. You could do it for yourself. Alright? So, this here is what you call coconut milk. So, they call it milk because it's white. Alright, so you see it's white? Good see it? Alright, so it's coconut milk. Now, we'll empty that first, please. We're going to use that milk because when you buy a box of coconut milk or hemp milk or any of this milk from the store, they don't have more than 7%. So if you have a box of coconut milk, or you have like 1 liter of coconut milk, then the coconut in it might be about 7 milliliters of like real coconut. So you are doing yourself a huge disservice by buying a box coconut milk or hemp milk or almond milk. It's a waste of time. Yeah. We pass in the supermarket while I'm here and I'm checking, I say, man, let's look at the hemp milk. And I pick it up and I'm looking at 7% hemp. And you know, even though 7%, it may really be 2%. You understand? So you could take a handful of hemp seeds, hard hemp seeds, and a cup of water and blend it, and then you have 50% hemp, 50% water, so it's rich. So that coconut milk might be able to do probably about 20 or 30 boxes of coconut. Yeah, because if that is 7%, then you have to add 93%. So you have to add about 10 times that amount in this, just to get like what they sell you in the box.
Yeah. To prepare the coconut for that, did you soak it in water first?
No.
Or did it get?
No.
You just cut A dry
shell, a
coconut.
dry one. You don't cut it.
And that doesn't mash up, the blender didn't make any noise. I was a bit confused.
No, that you use another coconut to break that coconut. So you knock it around, pop, pop. So bang, 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 bang. But even if you have something heavy, you knock it all around. There. You don't knock it for a big knock, like crack to crack it. You knock it around. Crack, knock it. Right? And then you start knocking it harder. So when it breaks now, the flesh of the nut has separated from the shell. So it's very easy to take out. Sometimes you don't even need a knife, it just falls off.
Yeah.
Right, just because you knock it around before you hit it hard. And then the meat on the inside, right, what you do with that meat now, you chop it. If you have a very good blender, you don't even need to chop it, it's gone. But if your blender is weak, then you chop it and then you blend it in warm water. Set warm water just because to get the oil out of it.
Does it need time to soak or can it
No,
go
no,
straight in?
so immediate.
Straight in, yeah.
Immediate. Okay, immediate. Right now, we are going to do an Irish moss smoothie, which you're going to have a chance to taste it yourself. All right, that's the first thing. So, add half of this coconut milk in that one, please, man. So you're going to add half of the coconut milk in the blender. Right? We're going to use dates as a sweetener. All right, and you see, in the UK, you have dates in cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap. In the Caribbean, we pay lots of money for this. And the metro dates is one of the better dates. All right?
Majuli.
I'm not advertising. I'm just saying. Right, and then you always get those with seeds. Seeds. All right? So I personally remove the seeds. All right? So we're going to add dates as a sweetener because date is a palm and it's extremely rich in potassium. So if you are hypertensive, right? You need to increase your potassium levels because potassium actually acts as a natural electrolyte sparing diuretic, meaning that it allows you to remove water, right? But it retains your other minerals, all right? Whereby you could use another sweetener, even the agave, but the agave in the shops, they've gone through so many processes that you have to be, careful. Because, and I always tell people that the people who eat healthy are normally the conscious people within any society. And like it or not, society doesn't always like conscious people. People who come to bring change, people who do something new, something revolutionary, they are always
Demonized.
All right, so society does always try to actually kill people who bring change. That's what they do. So then, that's why you have to be so careful with this whole herb thing and what herbs you buy and how you get your herbs, because you could easily be isolated because you are a group. So if they target, let's say they target bird up there. You know how many alkaline people that get in trouble just because they just target bird up. All right, and it's things that people do. I mean, they do it all the time, man. I mean, your foods. Everyone knows that corn syrup is bad. Everyone knows that aspartame gives pilots cockpit blackouts. That's why pilots don't drink Diet Coke or they don't chew sugar-free gum, right? Because they get blackouts in the cockpit because of the aspartame, the synthetic sugar, right? I mean, there are plenty of things. I mean, people just know they're bad. Like a cigarette kills. No? Mm-hmm. Cigarette kills. Yeah, but it's still sold. People still smoke it. So the society does not provide you with what is good for you. They just provide you with stuff. And if you love yourself, you make a choice of self-love. If you don't love yourself, then you just take anything that you want. So the dates is my sweetener of choice. If I'm making a smoothie, I personally use dates. If I'm making a herbal tea, I use no sweetener, no agar, nothing at all. Right? If I'm making a cocoa tea, I use dates.
What about molasses?
Well, the molasses now, you have to be careful with the molasses based upon how they grow the cane. Because when you use molasses from cane that has been grown with pesticides, you have a concentrate of pesticides in the molasses because the molasses is a concentrate. Alright? So after you get all the juices, it's boiled down into this big black concentrate. So that itself is something that we don't even use it as much as we used to utilize. Alright, so we have the coconut milk in the blender. We're going to add a handful of dates, my lord. And we are going to make a chocolate flavored sea moss. So we are going to flavor the sea moss with chocolate. Now, this is cocoa, like the cocoa itself, the cocoa stick. So this was created, so if I rub my hands on it, it gets oily, right? So this was created by harvesting the cocoa from the tree, drying it sun-dried, patching it in some low heat, take out the shells and pong it in a mortar and pestle until it gets oily, and you roll it up into this roll, those rolls. So if you smell this, so this has nothing but cocoa. So if you want to know what a 100% cocoa tastes like, you taste this. So you could pass this piece around and rub your hands on it. You could break off a little piece if you want, that's okay. Right? Pass the piece around, smell it. Then you could experience the smell of cocoa. Now we're going to give the sea moss a cocoa flavor, chocolate. So you're going to have chocolate sea moss. So you're going to add a piece of the cocoa itself. You're not going to buy chocolate flavored coconut milk. Right? We're going to make our milk, we've made the milk, and we add in the cocoa. Natural cocoa supposed to have a bitter essence. Alright? It's supposed to be bitter. Why? Because it contains antioxidants.
It's not the same as the chocolate.
What chocolate? Like Milo?
It's chocolate, isn't it? Cocoa.
Yeah, it's chocolate. Well, it's not like chocolate. When you say chocolate, you might want people to go and buy like Milky Way and these things, right? But yeah, but the cocoa, it comes from the cocoa tree, the cocoa pod. Right? You suck the seeds and you remember seeds in Lewisham, right? Right? So the cocoa is the chocolate tree. You know, indigenous to Ghana. You know, Ghana has among the finest cocoa in the world. Right, so that's so we should have some real good cocoa to us.
What's the difference between cocoa and cacao?
Well, it's about the same. Because COCOA is cacao, but we call it cocoa. Okay, just a pronunciation. All right. So that now is what is just the beans pounded, very rich in iron. Extremely good for heart health, right? So this is something that the old people use and say, well, to give you back. I want to say back, it means it's an aphrodisiac also. So give you heat, it make a man strong. So a man drink cocoa tea every morning. So you grow up, every morning you wake up, you smell cocoa brewing in your house. Right, and the cocoa is also good for diabetics. Because the bitter essence helps to bring down the blood sugar level. So we add the cocoa already, my lord? Okay, so we're going to add like you add 5 of the bay leaf, just the leaf as it is, and the sea moss is like a gel now. See, that's a gel. Alright? So that's a sea moss gel. So I'm going to add love, more love.
I take it you just put warm water in for the sea moss just for it to dissolve.
A lot more love. And some more love. Right, and we put in, that's free. 5, and we're going to put the leaves itself, 7 leaves of the bay leaf. Right? From the beginning, we explained that before we soak the sea moss, we massaged it. Don't just put the hot water, you have to massage it. To really get the gel out there, you have to massage it with your hands. To really wash it like you're washing clothes. And then you add the hot water on it. Alright? So we have the Irish moss or the sea moss. We have clove. We're going to add a little piece of the star anise. This is like a marijuana leaf. Okay? And then we are going to put a handful of walnuts. Because that's like a complete feast. So when you eat that or you drink this, it's like you have eaten a plate of food. Because you're not eating food. We're not eating food just to fill up your stomach. Because if you're hungry, you feel like you're feisty, and you take a pinch of sugar, the sensation disappears. Why? Because sugar removes the sensation of being hungry. So you're not eating this, love. All right. So you're not eating this because you're hungry, or because you hear people talking about sea moss. You're just doing sea moss alone, and you're living off sea moss only by itself, and then you believe you get everything. You don't get everything from sea moss. Sea moss has no iron. Even if it has plenty trace minerals, it contains no iron. And your Irish moss will only have the minerals from the area it grows. So if you have Irish moss or sea moss that grows in a polluted and depleted area where you have little nutrients, it's not going to be as nutrient filled as the sea moss that grows on the coral reefs deep into the ocean. That's why the purple sea moss that we showed you, this is different than the white sea moss, because this grows deep on the coral. You have to dive for this. So you get the minerals directly from the coral.
So that would contain iron?
Huh?
That would contain iron?
This one is the color of it. This one might surprise you with some iron, just because of the color. You understand? So it's very important that you understand this corporate. So what are you going to do? Just to get it blended nice and smooth, we're going to blend this like this, and then we're going to add a bit more water just to dilute it. So we're going to blend it just to get a bit more creamy, and we're going to move on from there. Go ahead, by the way. So you're going to blend it until, because you have cocoa, you're going to blend it until you see that consistent brownish color. Because you make it chocolate, you will take that piece, right? That brownish color. Alright, so we'll stop it for now and then we'll add a bit more liquid. So add some water. Add water. More water than that. Right, about, let's say half a liter. But almost half of the water. Don't put that much because I don't think we have that many people. So you're going to drink this, right? So add a quarter of the water. Please. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. See, this water is not really water, you know. You have to make it water. Because water is supposed to flow. When you trap water in a system, it's because remember, water is life. So you have to spit the life back into that water. So water don't take 90-degree turns. Like in a house, you have an elbow and like a 90-degree turn like this. Water don't flow. You never see a stream or a river with a 90-degree turn. So when water flows through your house, it is 90-degree turns, that's not water. It's dead, it's like some liquid, but it's just dead. Right, so you have to, with that understanding, you have to treat your water in a manner where you know when you're giving life back to your water. You speak love into it, you keep a positive vibration, and then you bless it up. Right, so let us just blend it again for about a minute, and after we stop at stop it. So in this movie, you will have the walnut milk, because you're blending the walnuts, and then you'll also have the coconut milk, because you are utilizing the coconut. So you get benefits from both the walnut and the coconut. One more time. Love. All right, so what we'll do, we'll allow you to sample it. Come on, you could, it's a lot, it's a lot. You give thanks. So you could sample it, you pour it for them, my Lord. Don't be shy. Good. You taste the cocoa? Don't be shy and wait until it's done and you what you want to taste. So this is the Irish moss.
Without embarking on this.
We've only got 2 cups left, man. Sorry, darling. Oh, thank you, darling.
Sorry, yeah.
That's all right.
Sorry,
I'm sure. He's only got 2. I think he's got no cup left now.
Yeah, we need some. Yeah, but for the cocoa tea. Yeah, hold your cups because you're going to have some hot cocoa tea.
More love.
Love. How does it taste? Like it's dinner, it's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Excuse me.
Give us a center price. Have you got some?
Excuse me, please.
Very good. Sister. You didn't get any yet, man?
Anybody there?
Honorable, my Lord, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, my chef. Give thanks. So, this here, very simple, but if it is that you are diabetic, hypertensive, or you have any type of condition, these types of foods literally build back up your physical structure. Wow. Right? So you cannot be not well, because it's not just for taste, you know. Remember, every component of this smoothie is like nutrient packed. Wow.
Guilt-free.
Yeah, man. So when you drink this, you are reinforcing your physical structure. It's not just like something you're drinking and it's just nice and flashy. No, that is real food. And you'll feel it. You'll see it in your bowel movement, and also you'll see it also in your energy movement, how your brain functions. If you're lethargic, if you have joint problems, you have painful bones, your waist hurt, you hardly have power for you will live in it. Just roll it, the water. Yeah. And show it. We'll use it for the cocoa tea. So what we're going to do? Go ahead.
Could you quickly list the ingredients once more?
Well, we don't say ingredients. See, ingredients.
Ingredient.
Yeah, we say the components.
Components.
Yeah. So you have dates, you have Irish moss, we have bay leaf, we have the star anise, we have what else?
Walnut.
Walnuts, and coconut milk, and water. Water.
You got it.
Okay? Alright. So you have that. Alright, so we are going to use a very similar method. Very similar method, because remember that
You're warm.
nice. Nice is a little word for that one. That's blessed. Alright, so we're going to make some cocoa tea. And see for the Irish moss, there are simple ways that you could actually just switch that. Because you understand the principle, you could switch it around. Because you're working with a principle. Alright, so you're not just going to follow what Priscilla said. You might want to drink it warm. Alright, so what you do now, you leave out the walnuts. Okay? So what you do, you just blend the dates with the sea moss and the bay leaf and the little star anise. Right? You fill the water and coconut milk, and afterwards you put it over, you heat it up. Then you have Irish moss porridge. That tastes good. That's very nutrifying. Alright? So you could literally have it as something cold, or you could do a sea moss tea. Yes, brother, go ahead.
Porridge you'd recommend with oats.
Not oats, man, Irish moss.
What?
So that same thing you did there.
Porridge.
Yeah, porridge. So what you do, because remember oats is not porridge, you know. You have oatmeal porridge, but you could have sea moss porridge. And we don't even say porridge.
Porridge.
We don't say porridge, we say rich age. It's not pork. Alright? So I'm very serious. So if you come to our restaurant, we don't use porridge and it's rich age. Rich. You're not poor. Pork rich. You said rich age. So it's not poverty, it's wealth, it's rich. Remember, the words actually map, create, pathways in your brain. Now, we're going to do the cocoa tea. We're going to do it strong. So we'll use like a whole cocoa stick. Alright, use that nothing. Alright, so we'll use an entire cocoa stick. So this is like probably 50 of these boxes of your chocolate almond milk or whatever. Okay? So that's how rich you're supposed to treat yourself. You're supposed to treat yourself richly. You deserve it. When you do these things for yourself, your physical structure appreciation loves it. Then in return, right, it blesses you and it gives you long life. It gives you clairvoyance. It gives you clarity of thought. It gives you peace of mind just because you are investing the best in yourself. And it's not that it's difficult. If you want it, you'll get it. Right? It's just you must shift your perception. Because everything is here. Everything is in England, everything. Even when it's not in St. Lucia out of season, you have it up here. Alright? So we are going to follow a similar pattern. We're going to just break it up into 3 pieces. Right? We're going to blend it. In ancient times, you grater it. But now we're going to blend it. Okay? And chuck it in. Blah, blah, blah. Alright? And you're going to put the rest of the bits. And you're going to add the coconut milk. If you want to make your cocoa tea extra rich, you could add Irish moss to it. Because remember, you are creating a food to uplift yourself. You want nutrients. You want energy. You want to be able to function properly. You want to safeguard yourself from breast cancer, from prostate cancer, from diabetes, from high blood pressure. So you are creating a compact food. It's not something you're doing cheaply. So if you want, you could still add some Irish moss to it. Alright, so what I'm going to add, I'll add just a little Irish moss, some of the bay leaf, yes, so we add some bay leaf and a little Irish moss. Alright, and then now we're going to just one more thing. A little star on it. Read out there. Love, love, love. Alright. Love is the best component of your food. Eh? Trust me, don't eat anything from anyone who's upset. If your wife is preparing food for you and she's upset, don't eat it. If your husband is preparing food for you and he's upset, don't eat it. It's like poison. All day you go on, you come there, it's poison.
It's true.
It's poison. Okay. So that's why, so we're gonna blend. Now you're going to blend this and you're going to try to get as fine as possible. Because you see, when you boil the cocoa, after it boils, oil literally comes to the top. That's when it's good. You have that rich cocoa oil. Right, Audrey? Now, the reason why I blend the cocoa is because a lot of people don't like to have little bits in their mouth. And if it is that the cocoa is not pounded properly and you grater it, some people might even strain it. So you blend it to get the fullness out of your cocoa. And the children like that because children don't like bits and pieces in their mouth. So all of you to blend the cocoa for the children. One more time, love, love, love. Alright, so after this, what you do, you just put this in your pot and you boil it. This thing that just smells awesome, right? Like awesome, right? You know what awesome is? that smells awesome. That just smells awesome. It's rich. So you could just pass this around and just smell it. You put it in top of the knife. And if you want, you could just put a little bit on the tip of your fingers and you could taste it if you want. Right? If you want to taste it at all.
A little bit, but it's nice.
It's awesome. It's just it's wonderful. I'll tell you what the class is. Thank you. Yeah. Alright, so this would be like a cocoa. Love, love, love. Now there is no way that you are cold. Okay, you cold. And you know, you're at home. When you drink this winter or summer, you must sweat. And you will sweat. Right? Because it adds heat. It rises up your heat energy. And that's like a power food, right? As my brethren will say, that's better than a Gatorade or a Monster or how you call these things again? You have one they call
Powerade.
what?
Powerade.
Powerade? Yeah, Powerade with an S. Right, so that what do you allow this to boil? Literally. And as it boils, you could put it in your hand, man, and feel it there. You can even taste it. Right? So you will feel the richness of the cocoa. Alright? Yeah, man. So that now is one of the ancient foods that we utilize, that my girl every morning, man. You wake up in the morning to the smell of cocoa tea. And that's why people in Dominica live to 125. You know, so people that live that lifestyle, the cocoa tea in the morning, they're 125 years they live and most of these people that die when they start going to the hospital. So for some reason, I'm very serious. The eldest person in the world, they tried to give it to a Japanese woman, but it was a woman called Mapoko from Dominica. She was 120 something, 125. You know about that? She was good, she was strong, she used to walk and everything until the family began taking her to the hospital. You know, and that was it for her. Because remember, the hospital is the place with all the diseases. Just in one little area. So imagine that you sick and not well and they're taking you to the place with all the diseases. It's like you're on fire and they're putting you in fire too. You know? So, I'm showing you these simple little things. As simple as they look. That you might understand that the responsibility of your wellness is in your hands. And it's not about depending on a vegan shop around the corner. No. Or depending upon something you heard somebody saying. But every single thing you hear, you have to research it. Because you must always add value to the things that you hear. So anything you've heard that I said tonight, research it. Don't just take it for granted. Go out, read. So maybe next time when I come, you might say, well, previous time you said this, but I also learned that it is good for this and this and this and this. So you add value. Right? So you don't only follow a fad. Because people just follow things because they hear stuff and not because they have a full understanding of what we're talking about. So that's the Cocoa thing. Right now I'm smelling it. I'm going to allow it to boil. And while we're waiting, what we'll do in the meantime, if you have any questions with regards to what we've just done, you just raise up your hand and you can ask that question. Yes, sister.
I've just started to go down this road of trying to add.
You went up the road, not down.
Well, up the road,
You know when you go down that road, you're very soon.
I'm doing research on CMOS, and I want to know if you can overdose on CMOS, because where I read online, they said that you only allow like 3 teaspoons a day, but on another site, you can like make your CMOS into a smoothie and drink that. So I don't know.
You really cannot overdose with CMOS.
Yeah, that's what I
There's no
I still
overdose.
think that could happen, but
Because it's food, I mean, you really cannot overdose. You could only, you'll get filled, your belly will be satiated. Right? You cannot overdose in CMOS. Our babies, we feed, when our babies are weaned of milk, we feed them CMOS. Right? And my strongest son, we used to call him a CMOS baby. Right? That's Prince Elaine. And if his head knocks your head, even if he's about 8 now, if his head knocks my head, I'll cry. I'm very serious. I'm very serious. This man's bones are strong.
And also, the CMOS, can you like add cold water to it and do the washing and what have you, leave it until the next day? That's what I've been doing, but I'm not sure if I'm doing these things correct. That's why I'm here today. So instead of boiling it like I know that it should be done, I do.
We don't boil it. As we said from the beginning, what we do is that
you simmer it, yeah?
we don't simmer it either. What we do is that as we said, the CMOS, you rinse off the CMOS in room temperature water and lemon juice. We will use the rough cut lemon or the sour orange. That's the wild orange that grows in the forest itself. It's bitter. Okay, so we use that, or we use the rough cut lemon, which is like the original lemon. Right? Or you could use the seeded lime. Okay? Now, this is just to remove the fishy smell. Alright? Now, after you've soaked it in that, about 20 minutes, 10 minutes, then you wash, you literally hold it, and you wash it. And you could wash it on the running water, you wash it, and then you could put it in a bowl and you wash it again. So as you wash it, it slimes.
Yes.
Alright? And then now you could put it in a glass jar like this CMOS. I never boiled it. It's that same CMOS. And same CMOS, I never boil it. I rinse it off and I just press it in that bowl after washing it consistently and add some hot water on it. That's all. Alright? And it just coagulated.
You don't blend it, you just rub it.
Just rub it. I never blended that. That's not blended.
Can I have it?
Yeah, go ahead. You will pass it around too. Right, so that's not blended. That's just soaked in hot water.
Ready to blend.
Ready to blend. So this will be in your fridge. Okay, so that's how we make it easier for you. So you get up in the morning, you want a smoothie, 3 tablespoons, whatever you want to put, strawberries, blueberries, red raspberries, blackberry, blend, and you drink.
And coconut milk can be kept in the fridge or room temperature, or does it have to
in the fridge, or else it will spoil.
Yeah.
Because coconut milk ferments quickly.
Yeah.
It will spoil.
How long does it last?
What?
In the fridge.
CMOS would stay out of the fridge in St. Lucia in the heat for over 7 days. Much less here in the fridge. When you're in England, you're already in the fridge. That doesn't even need to go in the fridge. Right? So this could stay out for 7 days, 2 weeks, it wouldn't spoil.
Yeah.
Right? So outside in St. Lucia where it's warm, we keep it out. We don't really use fridge in the mountain. All right? So this would stay out for 7 days. And then it might begin to take a little fungus. All right?
So
But this...
am I doing it wrong then? I'm just...
You're not doing it wrong. You're just learning. Just learning. You're going for a process.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong and right where you do wrong and point. No.
The next day it is thick, like noodle.
Yeah.
And that's when I add it to my blender.
Well, it's like the noodle now. It takes a bit more work for the blender to get that consistency, because you want that sea moss, because you want your food to taste good. You're not drinking sea moss because you're sick and it smells fresh and doesn't even taste good and the little bit sticks in your mouth, and just because you want to be well, just take it. No. You have to sip it and you love it. Oh, that tastes good, man. Oh, that's good, that's awesome. Oh, you understand? So when you deal with your food at level of gratitude, it does something completely different for you.
Is there fruits that it's not meant to be blended with? Because I did blend it the other day with guava and also papaya.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do it with papaya. Just papaya contains lots of papain, the proteolytic enzyme to make it taste a bit soapy.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Right.
Yes, I would add papaya to it.
Okay.
Papaya is not pineapple.
Yes, yes.
Alright?
Just wondering if you actually subscribe to the fact that people say that the sea moss has like 92 essential minerals out of the 105, irrespective of Montreal region, because obviously we try and get as pure as we can get from our suppliers, like,
Yeah.
you know, so whether it's from the coral or whatever, when we take on board that what they're giving us. So would you say that's a ballpoint figure that is
Yep.
92 minerals, or is that people just make up that story there?
They look up that story because some sea moss are not grown on corals. And the sea moss could only get the minerals from where it's grown. Some sea moss are grown on ropes. Literally. They put ropes in the sea water, and the sea moss grows on the ropes. Right? And some sea moss, which is the wild sea moss, like a purple sea moss, you dive for it. And you pull it off the coral. Now the coral is just rich in minerals. So your sea moss could only have in it what it gets from the water or from the coral. So there's not just one thing, sea moss has 92 minerals or 102 minerals and you get all the trace minerals. No. Right? It depends on the type of sea moss that you are getting.
So how can we tell what we're getting?
The color of the sea moss is very important. Right? Also, how thick it gets, how slimy it gets. If you have a sea moss, right, and then you soak it and it doesn't get slimy or jelly, something wrong. Okay? The more jelly it gets, the more it coagulates, the richer it is. You understand? So they have sea moss. Use a little bit of it, a little insignificant piece of this, right? And you blend this in a blender. And as it gets hot, brethren, it gets so thick, you can't even move in the blender. That's how rich it is. You understand? So the real sea moss, what you might need for the day is about this, you know, probably about this, like sea moss, like this. What you might use for your day. Because if you soak this little piece, this is going to give you about over a half cup of sea moss. Because it expands. Because this is not like that, you know. When we get it from the ocean, this is like huge. It shrinks because the water comes out of it. So when it expands, it's because it starts to take back in water. So all these little pieces expands. Right? So, as I was saying, the quantity of sea moss in that bowl is about that amount. A little bit more than that. You understand that? So to know the quality of your sea moss, just check how much it expands. You were saying?
Does it have iodine in it?
Of course, full of iodine. Yeah. Especially the purple one. Right? Rich in iodine. That's why sea moss regulates your metabolic rate because of the high iodine level. Good for the thyroid. Eh? Okay?
Is it bad to do too much iodine?
There's nothing bad like that, man. Remember, it's food, you know. How much CMOS can you eat? You get satisfied. Okay? And this is organic. When I say organic, I don't mean like organic growing, you know. I mean like natural iodine. Not iodine supplements like in a capsule. That you can overdose yourself. Like an iron tablet, if you take too much and you get constipated. And your poo is black. Because you didn't absorb any of it. All of it is in your poo. You eat and just goes like that. Whether you use a little kalalu or you use a little green banana with the skin on, right? Or the milk from the banana, right? That has more iron. Okay, so now it just began boiling. So I can smell it. Alright? It's rich, it's lovely, filled with healing. Love. Alright, so that now, if you really understand the value of this, that's not Milo or Ovaltine or other quick. No, that's not that. That all this Milo and all these things contain plenty sugar, milk, all type of stuff. This is just cocoa, water, coconut milk, dates, barley. Now, when you drink this, anise, right? When you drink this, you are nutrifying yourself. So when our clients come on a 21-day program, they get this almost every single morning. Because that is one of the richest sources of iron. Okay? So that's why our ancestors roll it up like a penis. See it roll up like a penis? Yeah, right? Like a penis, man. Huh?
My granny used to eat the wrong one.
So it's good for the woman and for the ovaries. And when you roll it like this, it's for purpose. You put an energy.
Yeah.
Never do that. But that's an energy too. So when you roll it like that, it's an energy. Everything that the elders do is for a reason. Don't underestimate the science. Alright, so we're going to taste the tea now. It smells great. You have to blow it and inhale the fume. Very serious. Blow it. That's part of the therapy. People say, well, they don't want to drink it hot. But I will tell you, blow it. Make sure you blow it. And to bring it and you rest it over that other pot. Make sure you blow it and you inhale the steam. So you get aromatherapy and then you still ingest it. Still drink it. Don't take it for a joke. Not careful, it's full of care. You're full of care, not careful.
Kailash?
Yes.
You know that coconut remains very hot.
What's that?
It remains hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's a hot. Make sure you inhale. Make sure you inhale the steam. Honorable brother. Blow it and inhale the steam. Blow it and inhale the steam. Blow it and inhale the steam. Make sure you inhale the steam. You get the wholeness, the fullness, the loveness. Is that a word? Is now. Yes, holy. Yes, Lord. Full of care. Yeah, get a cup, my sister. Thanks, my brother. Not new funky, just give it time. Has nothing to do with you. There's a cup over there. It's just a little messenger. Drink it. You blow it here and you drink. Yes. So you're done. Say thank you. Because not thanking me, I'm not here for praising. Just say give thanks. You just give me thanks. Not for yourself, for being here. For I, for being here. Just give me thanks.
Yeah, we really very long. My mom says you don't like anybody.
Cocoa tea. You take a coke. All right.
Bitter.
Bitter. Yeah, man.
No, anything with fruit you don't drink less. I know that for me, because I drink it. Why do you do that? I think you know,
All right. So you taste it. Can you drink it? Yeah. So this also contains, as our brother was saying, contains what? Also contains THC. Yeah. All right. So the cocoa makes you feel. Why cocoa makes you feel good? Makes you feel calm and nice. That's why when people and warm. All right. So when you blow this and take your time and sip it, you have to feel good. Your temperature will increase. You can walk nice. Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Is it sweet? It's just right? It's not sweet enough. Well, if you want, you could have added a bit more dates in it and get it sweeter. Alright, but full joy what you are drinking. Because you are not drinking for sweet. Alright? You are getting the iron because you need it. What's that? Yes? Just like beer. This is the first time we drink beer because it's bitter for us, right? What about the sea moss? And the sea moss was sweeter, eh? No, this the one you had a while ago.
Oh, the one I'm still sipping on it because of the thing.
Oh, you like a child, right? You have a soul of a child. Yeah, trust me. All right, so the cocoa itself. So this is something that is excellent. That is, this nourishes you beyond measure. When you drink that first thing in the morning, you set. Right, you're a pregnant woman, you are a nursing mother, you know you are an elder person getting into elderhood. You need this type of foods. Right? You cannot just be chewing things all the time. Sometimes you just need to be sipping. You know, so sometimes when I'm going through a process and I have my full moss, just fill up sea moss. I know every time I feel like I'm feasting, just press and just drink. Warm. I like it warm. I rather my foods liquidy and creamy, right? Because it's easily accessible to your physical structure. All right? And when you inhale it, you get to appreciate it more. That's why you inhale it. It becomes a part of you. Breathe in and you inhale it. Right? Huh? Yes, I put everything in it.
Only a little bit, though, isn't it?
Well enough.
Yeah, but we can't taste it or not like it. Can't taste it.
You can't taste it?
No.
That's because your taste buds can't taste it.
Our taste bud is good, man.
Uh-huh.
man.
So why can't you taste it on the inside of it?
I don't know, man. Come on, so it was biggest today.
Okay, listen to this, right?
It's the biggest today, bro.
Okay, listen to this. Just going to use like normal science. If you're supposed to be a taster, and that's your job, right? Even if it's a tablespoon or 1 teaspoon, you would say, this has Irish moss. All right, but all of us, not your own, I also, man, our taste buds have been battered and bruised. That's why the sister cannot really learn to appreciate love it yet. Why? Because her taste, she loves sweet stuff. She just loves sweet stuff. So for her, and it's not her, I'm going to use her just as an example. No, it's the parasites. You see, parasites in our physical structure gives us cravings for a particular type. So sometimes you believe it's you that like the sweet stuff, but it's the worms that's inside of you that asking you to eat the sweet. And because the bitter does get rid of the worms, right? The parasite doesn't want you to drink the bitter, so it not you, it's the parasite. Yeah, the parasite. I'm very serious. Parasite affects your taste. They give you cravings. That's why if a child has tapeworms, they go like this. They grind their teeth very often. And they always have the desire to eat sweet stuff. Because the worm is trying to hypnotize them in the head. Affect their taste buds. See how powerful a worm is? It's not easy enough. Right? So they can't affect your desires. Right? Okay. Questions on the property? Any questions? What's that? More to drink? There's a little, yes, it will come. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so you use the coconut milk in the coconut tea and the smoothie,
Yeah.
but you don't taste it. But if you cook with the coconut oil, you can taste coconut.
Why? Because you see, the milk and the oil is two different stuff. The oil, you literally have to boil down the milk until it forms that curd, and the oil is extracted, but not doing that with this. Not extracting the oil, just heating it up and activating the enzymes. Right? So the only oil you see at the top of this is the oil from the cocoa, because it's easier to get that oil. You understand? And if you want it to be smoother, just blend it longer. So it's smooth. I like mine smooth. I like my things tasting nice and fine. So I blend it long, or I'll get a powerful blender. More powerful than that. The blender I use is a more powerful blender than this. Alright, I won't say the brand because I'll be advertising. Alright? But I use a very powerful blender. You know, so this is like fine, like smooth like ice cream. You know, so I like my things nice and fine. That's my personal taste.
Yeah.
Okay?
And on a healing program at your retreat, you said that for
Every morning.
21 days, that's standard.
Every morning.
And what would be for lunch?
Lunch? All right, for lunch. Generally.
Yeah. Obviously, you mix it up.
She's been on a wellness.
Wow.
What would you have for lunch sometimes?
My favourite was when you made the one pot stew.
The one pot.
Yeah, that was amazing. With all
On the wood fire.
Yeah, on the wood fire with the like the breadfruit and the bananas in it.
Yeah.
That
Sounds
was amazing. But then we also went to your
Restaurant.
and had things like quinoa and plantain and chickpeas and
Wow.
all that stewed and delicious.
Like nourishing,
It was amazing.
hot
Yeah,
food.
so lunch would be big,
Yeah.
more bigger,
Nice.
and dinner and breakfast was lighter, like a
Got ya.
soup or a see.
Because you've got more of the day to burn and work. And, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so the lunch would be, as you said, was like, you have like a one pot. A one pot would be probably you have like the platano burro, what they call the in Saint Lucia we call it the macambu, like a wild banana, right? That with the skin on. So we use the
green
skin
one.
the green one,
Yeah.
because you want to get the iron. Right, so chop fine the skin on, have some quinoa and coconut milk, your wild greens from the mountain itself, in a clay pot on the wood fire, and yeah. But
Nice.
yeah, the skin on, yeah.
And you cook it. Okay.
The skin also, yeah. The skin is the richest source of the original banana.
I saw drink.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the richest part of it.
So you did have the green banana as well?
Yeah. Remember that the rat would go to the pumpkin, right? In the field. Would eat the skin of the pumpkin, dig a hole, go on the inside and eat the seeds and leave the flesh. Because the flesh is just sugar. They eat the skin and the seeds.
So what about plantains?
Plantain, well, the same thing. Our plantain, if we use plantain, we do the plantain pie, you get the plantain pie, coconut milk, and blended if your herbs and baked, right? Or boiled or roasted. It depends. But lunch is there's an endless scope of what lunch could be. But it will taste good.
But cooking it over. Nice.
Sea salt?
Sea salt. Yes, sea salt, rock salt. Yeah.
And the salad with the scallions. And
The scallion.
And the kale.
Yeah.
Green onion.
Green onion, yeah, the scallion, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
And I think the clay and the natural wood fires puts more love and mineralized in a more earthy, nourishing food.
More earthy, so more minerals. Right? So you literally taste the earth in the food, man. There is nothing like a wood fire clay pot food. Nothing like that.
Just felt amazing in
Yeah.
my mouth. It felt like it was a hug in my mouth.
Nothing like that.
All the elements are in there.
All the elements in it. So the cooking it in the clay itself adds minerals. You understand? So that's why, like the breadfruit, we have to the skin of it. You have to activate the skin and to activate the charcoal. So we roast it in like a fire, right? Or some people roast it underneath the earth. You know, you can cook the food under the earth. Just dig a hole and put your food on top of it. Right? So these principles are fundamental principles. That's why that if you're in England and you're working, right? Mentally, you're supposed to have that mentality, that state in your head, whereby being that you are in the economic capital of the world, all right? You're supposed to be making enough money that you could 2-3 times a year, man, take a trip. Take a trip. You know, go someplace. Go in the wild, you understand? Eat something nutritious, something that you could see. You could see a plant, you could pick a guava. Not only go to the market and get it. Right? Understand what the tree is, the soursop tree. You know, look at the tree. Touch the soursop. Pick one from the tree. You know, so you get in more connected with the foods that you actually eat. Right? Don't just stay here.
We left it behind. We were doing all of that until Pierre sent to come and let we lose out everything. And then Babylonian decide say, oh, that not good no more. Don't have that, and they process them, put them in tin, and we start having Cadbury's in tin instead of chocolate.
My sister, with tax, it's worse when you go to Africa. You expect to see these things in Africa, they poison the land. Remember, they poison the land. If you see certain locals, that's poisoning. Skin shorts, poisoning. Some of these things that you're talking about, it's not the same about Africa. I'll tell you this now. When you go there, you'll be surprised. You don't see it.
That's why you see all the herbs here, you know, all the herbs, because last night we were in the lecture and I think your friend said that, he said, well, milk thistle is like the national plant of Scotland. It's on the flag. On the flag is it or is it on something? Right? So people as human beings, it's a part of our culture to travel and to spread seeds. You understand that? So wherever you go, you add value. That's it. So as I'm here, I'm sure I bought this type of nettle. Yeah? Right? I'm sure that because it's like a wild original nettle, if someone take it and just shake the seeds in a pot, it will grow. And literally, 15, 20, 40, 40 years from now, you'll be nettle, that same nettle growing into the bags. Why? Because that's what people do. People move with seeds and plant seeds. So I do. Wherever I go, I plant. See, like this is the leaf of life. Or they call it love bush. Right? That's very good for abscesses. Okay, it's good for athlete's foot. So you just warm it up. You have athlete's foot, fungal infection, and just wrap it around your toes. All right, so this here, you put this between a book, it grows roots. The leaf grows.
On its own, like that?
Yeah.
What's that?
On its own, like that in a book?
Yeah, if you take this leaf and you plant it, it will make a tree.
You just put it down.
Put it down in the ground. Put it between your book, it will make roots. So they call it the leaf of life. It's extremely rich in vitamins E. Very good for asthma and respiratory tract conditions. Abscesses, any of these things there. So if you take this, you could plant that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay? So you could take one, put it in a book. What we used to do, why we call it the love bush, is because as children, what we did, right? We literally used to, you write the name of the person you love on it, and your name, and you put it between a book, and then it grows. So as it grows, I'm serious. Your love grows as it grows.
Just the stem grows, just a leaf.
Yeah.
You can just trap
We
it
have
in the
one.
water.
Put it between a book and see.
Trap it in the water and you treat the diseases.
Not the stem.
The leaves.
You run to that.
Without the roots, then we use it.
That yeah,
There's no juice here. It's going to start to go around this edge. A friend of mine came along and they can still grow.
There's no root on it.
it will make roots. Who call it? This one between your book. Right? So these things, they are things that grows. Trust me. Very potent. Any questions? Questions as our time is coming down?
What about eating charcoal and eating dirt?
Charcoal?
And dirt.
Well, you see, the best charcoal would be like, you see the shell of the coconut? Yeah. You could burn it yourself. You don't have to go and buy it anywhere. You could burn the coconut shell into a coal. When it's all black and it sends no more smoke, right? So you wait until like it's just burned and not smoke it. And afterwards, what you do, you just pour the water, you out it, and you get like a grinder. If you have a mortar and pestle, you pour it first, and you put it in a grinder. Activated charcoal is just charcoal that is extremely, extremely, extremely fine. So it has a greater surface area. So you could use it. You have to draw out toxins from your physical structure. No.
What about the dirt itself?
Dirt contains iron. You could just burn this. Right? You put it over the stove, it catch a fire, burn it, put it in a pot outside, you burn it gets black like coals, you pump it, you grind it, you have activated charcoal. That's the best activated charcoal. Alright, so this, we normally use that charcoal with cannabis seeds, with cannabis oil, to apply on cold disease for women in breast cancer and these things. To draw out, because when someone has cancer, especially breast cancer, and it's further fourth stage, the breast does putrefy up and they smell real bad. Okay, so this is very good to remove that smell. Okay?
So it's not like your body short of any kind of mineral.
That doesn't add. It takes out toxins.
What does the cannabis oil add to that mix then?
Well, the cannabis oil actually, it helps in healing a lot. Because someone with like breast cancer, like a fourth stage breast cancer client, could be one with an open wound on the chest. It's like a wound, all right? So then, what you'd want to do, number one, the charcoal, you want to clean and dehydrate the area, remember, like taking out dead tissue, and to begin the healing process. So if you just use the cannabis oil, it might close it up or dry it up, but yet still you have stuff underneath. It doesn't heal properly. So the charcoal mix would help it ooze out all the bad stuff. And at the same time, the cannabis oil, because the skin has receptors for the cannabis, for what they call the CBDs or the THC, but I just call it ganja. So the skin has receptors for it, so it absorbs it, gets it into your bloodstream, and also helps in the healing process. It helps it to heal and close. And the coal now draws out the toxic substances from it.
Would you agree that on the charcoal front, for normal usage for people, like we are obviously living in an environment which is heavily polluted with a lot of car exhaust, this and that and the other. I mean, someone like myself, I usually try and take it with my meal to sort of absorb all these heavy metals. Would you consider that a good thing to do?
Well, what you might be doing is preventing your intestine from absorbing the nutrients in the food. Better use it by itself with water. After you've eaten or you're fasting, you drink it like that. Right? Just to, and it's not only if you are here, anywhere you are, there are toxins. There was this sister who came in to do nursing. She's a nurse and she came in to do like an internship at the center. And she was studying the book, but she ended up eating about 20 seeds of the castor bean. And that's like suicide. Okay? 3 seeds of the castor bean can kill you. She had 20 of them.
Why?
She just, when you're in the mountains sometimes, you get carried away. Trust me, people get carried away because they're so into it and they get that seed and they just eat and they eat and they eat and right? So what we had to do for her is to give her a high concentration of the charcoal powder from the coconut shell. That would save them. You understand? So it is good for poisoning also. Right? I have eaten 3 seeds and I had diarrhea and vomiting like for 5 to 6 hours. Wow. Horrible. And then I just took the antidote and I was okay. Because I wanted to test it myself to know if it's true. And I knew that. But you were there, I don't think I went, okay? Right? And I knew that can kill you for sure. It's not somebody telling you that. Right? I eat 3 seeds already. And I could tell you, you would vomit like you never vomit until you feel like your stomach is about to come out. You understand? So the charcoal powder is very effective for poisoning, any type of poisoning. Right? And what you would normally combine with that is the palm oil, the red palm oil, the organic red palm oil from Ghana. Not these synthetic refined ones. That's excellent for poisoning. Excellent. Okay? You have questions?
Do you know the avocado hair seed is good to have as well? Like grating it.
Tell how it works.
It's very good. It's very good for pain in the joints.
I've got pain in my joints.
Inflammation, increases circulation.
Okay.
It also is rich in vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin E. There are some traces of vitamin C in it as well. And it's rich in B vitamins as well.
That's the avocado seed, yeah? So do I grate it?
Grate it in some hot water, drink it as a tea, grate it and put it on the salads, or just sprinkle it over your food.
And what about smoothies?
You can put it you can use it anyhow. If you want to bathe with it, if you want to brush your teeth with it. Well, you choose it.
I do a lot of lifting at work.
Pardon me?
I do a lot of lifting. I lift heavy boxes.
Yes.
I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yes.
So now I'm suffering from like aches and pain around the shoulder at the back of the legs. I don't know what's causing it, but my doctor's saying that it seems as if it's a muscular problem that I've got here. Yeah? If I raise my arm like this, it feels painful. So now I'm taking like tablets, but I'm not sure. I don't want to take the tablets.
You don't want to take it?
Not the tablets, what I buy in the shop. No, I don't want to take the tablets.
But you just said you taking tablets.
That's what I've been doing to get rid of the pain.
No, but you see, so what you saying, right? You saying that you are taking tablets.
Yes.
Okay, all right. First step. Okay. Then you saying that you don't want to take the tablets.
That's right.
But you just said you taking tablets.
Yeah, and I don't want to take them.
But so don't take it.
But sometimes I cannot even move sometimes.
No, but okay, so that's the point. Because you see, there's always the test.
Yes.
Because you are just contradicting yourself, so your reality is just.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I'm not saying that's not why you're here. I'm just repeating your own words to you.
Yeah.
You saying that you taking tablets, and then you saying that you don't want to take tablets.
Yeah.
It creates a contradiction within your own heavens up there. So it has you like this, you know. So if you don't want to take it, don't take it. Then you say to yourself, your heavens, what can I take to stop the pain? That's it. Then your mind now begins to think of other solutions. So you begin to read, begin to study. Just because you say, I don't want to take this, I'm not going to take it, I want something else. But if you don't want to take it, and then you still taking it, it's not working for you.
That's right.
Right? Because there is what you call a placebo effect. You could have taken a sugar pill, or the pill could be something else, and you think it's going to help you on it. Alright? But Prophet Nkoyo is not just while I was in medical school in Cuba, he was studying agronomy. So he loves the herbs, but he's a professional therapist, like a sports therapist. I mean, he's dealt with people like A.B. de Villiers and all the people in the CPL. So in the CPL, he travels with these cricket teams and then he deals with injuries. But he's a man that wherever we go, he loves herbs. So right now he's in England. He's doing some courses on pain management. And he now, when I came in, I told him about the lecture. He said, well, priest, I'm going to get all the herbs. And then he just bought all the herbs that you see in the books. It's right here. So even while he is here, if it is that you are interested on like a herbal tour to go and organize with him, to go on a tour to see the herbs in the wild itself, that'll be something very good for you to benefit. Okay, so even in the beginning, I don't know if you were here, he showed this herb. Right? He showed this herb. Does anyone in the audience remember what herb is that?
Arnica.
That's arnica. And what is arnica good for?
Pain relief.
Pain relief and bruises. That's why you must come early to the lecture. Alright? So that now, all the answers are right there. So all we have to do is just take a little time for ourselves and get it. So when the lecture is done, you could just check him out, get his contact information, and definitely could contact him and see how you all could organize among yourselves to do some nice tours. Any other questions?
If I can just digress back on
patchouli. I have no patchouli. I didn't drink patchouli. I give you a tea?
Yes.
How is it?
Yes, nice.
Very nice. Okay, now patchouli tea is the number one tea for stomach issues. And whenever you stress, you must have stomach problems. You must. Okay, so patchouli tea is something that I would drink. If I'm traveling and I'm stressed, I will probably use two to 3 tea bags per cup of tea. And I drink it every hour, every 2 hours I drink a cup just to calm down my stomach because of the workload. Right? Because you as the healer is not immune. No. Because you are here probably because you want some knowledge and you're going for a condition. But your search for knowledge will teach you stuff that empower you. So then you will get so much knowledge that your friends at work will begin to check you for real issues. Right? So then now you become a healer. That's why the act of healing begins from you not being well. It says, physician, heal thyself. So after you've healed yourself, then you have the capacity to heal other people. And remember that we don't have enough healers. So you are not just hell, and normally our lectures are 200, 300, 400, 500. I think this time around, we have a smaller audience, and it's even more like a classroom setting that is for your benefit. So I believe that a lot of you who have followed and come to these lectures should make a time out and invest in knowledge and energy to build up yourself as a healer. Because there is not just one healer. Right? The world needs healers. Alright, so the knowledge that you are gaining here, you're supposed to impact it upon yourself, to bring that change into yourself, heal yourself, and then it will impact that knowledge onto other people. So don't underestimate yourself. Don't. Because you've seen this herb today, so you know that tomorrow you could literally assist someone in a difficulty just because you heard that this is good for that. Right? So take in the knowledge and heal yourself, and don't stop there. Right? Grow in the knowledge, whereby you could be someone that people ask questions and you could assist them. And then probably you do a little course in herbal medicine or naturopathy or iridiology or whatever it is, because being in England, you have some advantages. You have the pound, that's the biggest currency in the world. So you're supposed to be economically viable. You're supposed to be well off. You're not supposed to be suffering. So you're supposed to be clearly formulating a strategy to get as many as these pounds as possible. Right? And also the educational system is one whereby you are accredited or you are able to work anywhere in the world. So don't waste time. Do a course in herbal medicine. Do a course in the indigenous herb of England. So you could literally, if I am here, I will take my van, my big van, I will drive out into the country and harvest 50 kilograms of burdock. Take it back to my house, and that is without spending a cent. Take it back to my house, create my own little dark room, dry it, package it, and sell it. No? I cannot do that? Who will arrest you? They don't arrest. You see? Okay, stop. Pause. Pause now, man. Pause. Just pause. Some people get schizophrenic. Burdock is a food. You could stew the root. Right? There are hundreds of people all around the place that sell foods, that sell parsley. Don't you go to the supermarket and buy dandelion green? Well, you pay your tax then. So you could register a business. So you can come and bring, nobody's going to arrest you for selling burdock. So if it is that you go in the wild and you harvest all the blueberries that you could find, all the blackberries that you could find, and you pay your tax, you get a little shop in the market. I mean something like that. Nah, man. No. You see, that is the problem. That's our problem. England, everything that you want to do here, you can do it. We ship sea moss cocoa, herbs, all type of things into England, right? And we have clients that will ship over 500 pounds of Irish mushroom every 2 weeks, right? And they have their own clientele, and they sell it off, right? Burdock is a food. Dandelion greens is a food, right? So don't believe that the system is so against you that you cannot create. Imagine, I was on my way through England, and I said, well, I want to do a little course at London College of Natural Medicine, and I just applied just for joke. You remember when I applied, they accepted me for stuff? And then when they read about who I was, they were willing to offer me big discount, not even paying. And you could teach while you're there, and you go through and you still